What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Really appreciate you clicking on another video. My name is Joe Hagan, and this channel is really just dedicated to me putting out my message and my kind of sharing my journey as an entrepreneur and a business owner. I graduated from college going on 3 years now, 3 years ago, and really found out quickly that my skill sets were more suited for like a sales role rather than a finance role, which is initially what I wanted to pursue. And I had a lot of training on it because I spent about a year and a half working for a wealth management firm and building a successful practice. But some of the things that are super important when it comes to buckling down and becoming an actual entrepreneur, because so many people just want to put that title on their Instagram page or, their Facebook or whatever, or, when they're out talking to girls, they want to say they're an entrepreneur. But they sold they have a seller account on Facebook and sell old textbooks or something. I don't even know. There's so many fake people out there. Everyone's driving a Lambo these days. But some of the things that I've learned over the years of creating, my strengths are really in e-commerce, selling online courses, and also I have a bunch of YouTube channels that generate me passive income on a monthly basis because they're monetized and they get a lot of views every single month. So today I really just wanted to talk about a few of the, attributes or traits of a successful entrepreneur. And this is just my opinion. This is something that I've experienced, and I've seen a lot of people come up around me in a big way over the past few years after they started their own business. And I'd say the first trait that's super important is just not caring about what anybody thinks about you. This is something that it's really hard to do at first. It's really hard to swallow your pride. And guys, I'm telling you, when I first started my business, I was cold calling people on a daily basis, and it was brutal. I mean, I'd make 100 phone calls a day, and people would literally, cuss at me. And these are people that are family friends, even sometimes. Sometimes my parents would be nice enough to be like, "Hey, I heard, so and so just started a family. You should call on them. Maybe they need life insurance or something." And I'd call them, and I'm not saying anyone in particular. I'm just saying as a general example, they would be so mad, or they would just cuss you out for cold calling them, and it sucked a lot of the time. It was just miserable. So eventually, I just swallowed my pride and I got used to it. I literally just expected every single day to get kicked in the teeth. And I just became okay with it. You just like anything, if you want it bad enough, you just build a callus to it. And once I realized that all my family and friends who I called on to, become a client of mine, literally, I asked everybody, guys, when I first started out, and most entrepreneurs run into this. The first people they go to or try to sell to is their family or their friends, because those are the people they know, right? And that's completely natural. But once I had exhausted all those people, and they already heard my pitch and it was terrible or whatever, I got it out of the way. Not only was I warmed up enough and had enough, weeks or months of experience to actually be confident and go up to someone I'd never met before and really, start actually selling. But at that point, I didn't care what any of my friends thought, or the people who I'd called on, who I went to high school with or college with, because guess what? They've already heard it anyways, so why do they care? They know what I'm doing. And that really that went away. I just stopped caring about what other people thought of me. And that's super important. So that's probably number one, is make sure you just don't care about what other people think of you. You don't get paid to sit around and think of what other people think of you, and so it's not worth even taking up any of your mental space. So I'd say the second most important trait to have is to just be a rock. Just never ever give up. Just never budge. Even when some of the best sales calls I've ever had in my entire life were the last phone call I made at the end of the day on that, 119th or 120th phone call. Somebody picks up and I'll make a $5,000 sale. You guys, you just never know, and the world works in a mysterious way sometimes. But whether you believe in a higher power or not, there is something out there, and it's watching over us. And I swear to God, if you are a really hardworking person, things are going to work out for you. Opportunities are just going to come from places you never expected. As long as you persevere, and like I said, you are just like a rock. You never budge, and you're always very confident and put all your effort into what you're doing. I'd say the next most important thing, or the third thing that I find is super important for entrepreneurs, is to I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. I think they have to understand that opportunities are going to come from crazy places. Just about every time I felt like I was at a dead end in my career, like out of nowhere, something crazy has happened, and I got a new client or I got a new prospect that I just never expected to have happen. And it was because I never gave up, and I just got into a routine of doing things, even if I didn't always see results. It was just a process. It was like, I until I make 120 phone calls, I don't get to go hang out with my friends, or until I make 120 phone calls, I don't get to go to the gym. And in some cases, maybe that's not healthy, but I knew that I wanted to be successful, and I was willing to do anything in order to achieve that. So, that's it, guys. Those are the three things, or I don't even remember how many things. I think it's 4. I don't remember, but those are some of the things that I think are super important in order for you guys to be successful entrepreneurs. And I'll tell you what, the 5th one is to always laugh at yourself. Okay, so always laugh at yourself. Be confident in who you are. Don't care what anybody thinks about you, because it's not going to make you any money at the end of the day. And if it did, then I'd be making stupid videos all day long, because I'd make a lot of money. So catch me on the next episode. Thanks, guys.